Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? The Saints need receivers. That goes without saying. Getting Michael Thomas back is a huge addition, no doubt. He immediately makes you better. We talked about that a ton. Even with Michael Thomas, they still need another receiver. They need a receiver that can stretch the field. That's what they don't have. We've talked about Jarvis Landry. I would love to see Jarvis Landry in New Orleans, but he's the same guy as Michael Thomas. Each in their career have averaged 11 yards per reception. They're both great in the slot within 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. I think they can coexist and be really good together. But that still doesn't solve the biggest need you have, which is a guy that can stretch the field. You don't have that guy right now. He is not on your roster. Yes, you can absolutely draft one and sign Jarvis Landry, and that could work. Or you could trade for Deebo Samuel. If you missed it today, Deebo Samuel is requesting a trade. Ian Rappaport earlier today tweeted the 49ers have been looking to make offers for a long-term deal with wide receiver Deebo Samuel, but he's been unwilling to engage. This is why. Unclear where this goes from here, but Samuel wanting out is the latest in big-name wide receiver drama. So Deebo Samuel has requested a trade with the 49ers. Now, for some context here, according to Adam Schefter, Samuel is not expected to participate in any on-field work during the offseason with the Niners. He's holding out. And he's entering the final year of his rookie contract with the Niners, and he wants out. He's coming off a season where he led the NFL at more than 18 yards per reception. He also had this incredible sort of duality where he also was a running back. I mean, he was an all-pro this past year, and he averaged 6.2 yards per carry, 1,770 yards from scrimmage. That was third in the NFL. He ran for 8 touchdowns. That is the first receiver since the AFL-NFL merger in 1970 to lead his team in rushing touchdowns. It's literally never happened in the modern NFL. So, yes, incredible player, dynamic, game breaker, can stretch the field, can play running back. Incredible. An incredible weapon. It's also going to be really expensive if you want to sign him, because Deebo Samuel has looked at this offseason, and he's looked at the deal that Davante Adams got, the deal that Tyreek Hill got. Stephon Diggs has just signed a new lucrative contract. He's looking, and then, by the way, you've still got A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin. You have good, elite NFL receivers that are in the market for new deals. So the whole receiver market is being reset right now. A good way to put it is it's actually not a good time to buy because you're buying high right now. You know, buy low, sell high thing. Like, you're buying at the top of the market right now if you invest in a big-time receiver. But, as I say often, if you're a general manager, if you're in an NFL front office, if you are not considering every single player that could make you better and how you could work a deal, then you are negligent. It's not to say that every deal can or will get done, but you have to at least consider and explore what it would cost. So, if you're looking at a potential trade with the 49ers for Deebo Samuel, you have 2 prominent receivers this offseason that were traded, Davante Adams and Tyreek Hill. The Packers sent Davante Adams to Las Vegas for 2 picks, a 1 and a 2, the 22nd overall pick and the 53rd overall pick. So ask yourself this question: would you be willing to send one of this year's first-round picks and your second-round pick, number 49 overall, to San Francisco for Deebo Samuel? The answer is yes. Well, you check one box and you could begin to proceed because you're not done at that point. We'll get to it in a second. The other trade was Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs sent Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins for 5 picks. A 1, a 2, like with the Adams trade, a 4 this year, and a 4 and a 6 next year. 5 picks in all the Chiefs got for Tyreek Hill. And even more consequential is that the Packers and the Chiefs did not have to sign those players to enormous contracts. That honor went to the Raiders and the Dolphins. So, if you're the Saints, are you willing to part with a minimum a 1 and a 2? Let's say minimum you send one of your first-round picks and your second-round pick this year to San Francisco for Deebo Samuel. And by the way, San Francisco might be willing to entertain this because remember, they traded up for Trey Lance last year. They don't have first-round pick this year. So they might be willing to entertain this. They got their quarterback. They can retain some draft capital, not have to spend money on the receiver and break the bank for him. There's some part of that does make a little bit of sense. But again, I'll go back to the point that I was making with Jarvis Landry, that I'll make with Deebo Samuel or any other free agent wide receiver. And Deebo Samuel's not a free agent, but if you trade for him, you have to pay him. And look at what the market is commanding right now. You're talking about the guy that led the NFL in yards per reception this past season. A guy that did something that has not been done in the NFL since the NFL-AFL merger in 1970. You are talking about a guy that is not a good player, a guy that is a great player and is going to command top dollar. So the guys that reset the market this year, Hill, Adams, Diggs, Hopkins already got his deal where he's making $27.25 million. Are you willing to go $25 million per year plus for Deebo Samuel while you're already paying Michael Thomas $19.25 million? Are you willing to invest more than $40 million annually into 2 receivers? I don't know how you justify it. So would I love to have Deebo Samuel? Absolutely. Am I okay giving up the draft capital to acquire a player that is ready-made, ready to roll, that's a difference maker on your team? Yes, because the Rams just showed you can win now if you value proven players instead of picks. The Bucs 2 years ago, yes. But I don't believe that adding Deebo Samuel makes the Saints a Super Bowl frontrunner. It's different when you were talking about Tom Brady or Matthew Stafford, the trigger man. The biggest equation here is Jameis Winston. Is Jameis ready to be that guy? And if he is, with Michael Thomas, bring in another receiver in the draft. Bring in a left tackle in the draft. Bring in a safety, a defensive lineman. You can find starting caliber players that you can have affordably. So if your quarterback pops off this year and you have to pay him on a 5-year, $120 million contract, you're prepared to do that. Do I want Deebo Samuel, the player? Absolutely. Am I willing to give up the draft capital to get him? Yes. Am I willing to pay him a record-breaking receiving contract? No. Because I feel like I can find a game-breaking receiver in this draft with either the 16th or the 19th pick or maybe even the 49th pick. Remember, Michael Thomas was a second-round pick. You can find that guy in this draft. I think that's got to be the Saints' approach. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.